estate, they say it's not about what you know, but who you know. And in this Proximity podcast, we have a no BS approach. We're bringing you industry leaders with real solutions and real actionable items you can implement for your real estate business. Grab a pen and paper and listen in while we get up close and personal with some of the best in the biz.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the new episode of the Proximity Podcast. It's Jake Dixon here, co-host with the main man, the myth, the legend, right next to me, Nathan Daniel.
What's up, Jake? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited for this one. And to the listeners, to the viewers out there, this is a little different from normal episodes. And what I mean by that is we thought during our live Q&A session, which is available to all locker room agents, locker room broker owners, anybody in our ecosystem, we do this live Q&A once a month. And we thought it was so good, so relevant that we wanted to actually share this kind of fireside chat with everybody for today's episode. So what you can expect to learn from here, I just jotted down a couple of points, was number one, we hit on the perspective on the current market. Very timely, very relevant. We're going to talk about managing commissions and expenses in this episode. We're going to hit on the difference between goals versus commitments and playing the infinite game. We're going to share with you an exercise you can do, which uses our KISS questions to analyze where am I at this halfway point of the year, or whenever you're listening to this. It's just a great exercise to do. And lastly, if you want that and so much more, I ask you, if you're an agent, consider joining our Agent Breakthrough community. You can check it out by going to tlrnation.com/breakthrough. Or if you're a broker owner or somebody in a leadership position, go to tlrnation.com/partners, and you can explore the different options we have there to becoming a partner with you. So we hope you enjoy this episode. We'll let you guys take it from here. We are here to answer your questions. We got Kristen, the Dynamo, Hannah on here with me. She is our director of TLR experience at the locker room. Kristen and I do this once a month at least, and just make ourselves available. There is no real agenda to this. This is 100% for you guys to come on, ask two coaches any question about your business or whatever it is that you're hoping to improve, and we'll just organically weigh in on that. So
tag us in it so that we can see.
There you go. That's why she's the director of experience. She thinks through these things to give you an amazing experience, you guys. I don't think like that. I do. I'm just not that detailed. We've got Joseph Williams who's trying to join us here.
Good. I love Joe.
Joe, putting you on the spot, man. What is just an amazing golden nugget you could give real estate agents who might be watching this right now? Tip, advice, best practice.
Oh, man. Don't get too consumed by the negative drama about real estate in the market. We've been here before. We're going to be here after. It's okay. Interest rates are not going to destroy us. It's going to mean we have to work a little harder. I started real estate in 2004. Interest rates, guess what? 7%. So, when you've been there and that was in the housing boom, going back there, yeah, it looks a little different, but it also might mean we get a life back.
Ooh, well, good perspective.
I used to sign listing agreements for no less than 6 months.
Me too.
And often you get to the end of the 6 months and you go, hey, we've had 3 showings in 6 months. You want to extend it? Sure, let's keep going. And then you get an offer after you've been on the market for 6 months for $12,000 off the list price and a new roof, and they just say, okay, yeah, sure, let's do it.
That's so good for people to hear, because as locker room, and this isn't certainly everybody, but we do specialize in helping the newer, lesser experienced dual career. Frankly, anybody closing fewer than 25 homes per year is like our ideal client, right? So a lot of folks that we tend to attract into the locker room maybe haven't been through a cyclical downturn like you're talking about. I think that is so on point. I got in back in 2007. Yeah. And a lot of people just, it's no fault of their own. They just haven't been through this before. So
Right.
for you to remind us of that, and like, yes, taking listings for 6 months and 3 offers and blah, blah, like that's good reminder. That's actually like normal real estate. What we've been through in the last several years is not normal.
Yes, that has been a lot of what I've talked to our agents about, is just saying, hey, this is not like, we have not been functioning in a normal market since 2015.
Right.
Now we're just going back to normalcy. And what's going to happen is you're going to have the people who aren't really bought into the industry are going to step away. And as they step away, it's more opportunity for us. So by engaging with the locker room and getting your crap together up front, especially for the newer agents, or, not lesser than 25, you get your systems, you get your processes. And as Jake will say, you start working in October to get that check in January. And, you're going to continue to do the same thing when the market gets lower and you start seeing, hey, your MLS is renewing dues and 175 agents just dropped because they don't want to pay their dues. That's 175 agents less in your market, 175 agents more availability for you.
That makes me think of Jim Collins's book, Built to Last. And that's what we do. We're helping agents build a real estate business to last. And I know there's old adages that you list to last and all these things that, you hear. So Joe, and Kristen, same with you. If you can think back to over the years, as long as you've been in this business, like maybe not so much the snapshot in time of the past few years, but like what you're referencing, what's the most amount of listings you've ever had on market at the same time because of a 4, 5, 6 month carryover? Do you have any idea?
I do, Kristen.
You go first,
like
Joe.
you do
I'm
too.
gonna have to rack my brain. I'm like
Okay.
thinking, yeah.
Because right
My-
now they're you get it, you sold it. You get it, you sold it.
Yeah.
So what's the
Right.
most amount of listings you've had at any one time?
102.
Holy moly.
I thought I heard you say
102.
102. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is that like
So-
lots or new construction or
Wait
something?
a minute. Wait. No, it was new construction. So I worked as I had builders that I represented. I had a very large subdivision that I was the exclusive agent for at the same time. So that was 2009 or 2010, I think. I can't 100% say that. That number is in my head. That was the first number that came to my head.
Okay.
That might have been transactions that year. And it may have been 70 on market, but it is something around that. But I was an exclusive agent for a large subdivision, and I had a foreclosure company. So, I was doing both, and as a single agent.
That's a lot of
I
work.
didn't even have an admin at that point.
Well, I'm putting you on the spot, so I will accept your answer. And
Yeah.
that's
Somewhere
it's-
between
so,
70 and 100, I can tell you that.
Kristen, you should have gone first. What would you think?
I guess so, because I remember 2012 being such a killer year for me, and my tagline, my company paid for this to be plastered all over billboards and everything, was all of my listings have sold in 3 months or less, which is like right in line with what you were saying, Joe. Like, we're used to signing agreements for 6 months to a year,
Yeah.
Now I'm like, if it doesn't sell in 3 months, we're doing something wrong. So the listing agreement is for like 90
weeks.
days, yeah. The most listings I've had, I remember having 24 listings. I think it was that same year, and really, really wanting 25 just to say I have 25 listings, and I never got there. Yeah. But you're right though, it wasn't like it is now where you've got 50 showings on your listing the first day it's on the market.
Right.
We were holding open houses every week. The housing market was slow. Like, the listings sat for a little while. You really had to market them.
Yeah, I was on site Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week.
Yeah.
Starting at 1 o'clock, I would be on site in developments that whole time.
Dang. This is
Yeah.
so important, I think, for people to hear. It's like, no, the sky's not falling. We're just getting back to where we were before. And it's like, people like you have been there, done it. It's nothing new. Is it what it was last year or 2 years ago? No, there's a little initial shock to that, to the bank account or to the market or to your mindset or whatever. It's like, okay, this reminds me of blankety blank year. I got this. I had a hell of a good year. There's still people buying and selling homes and moving, and it's just a constant.
And that would be the second nugget. Don't spend it all.
Talk to me. What do you mean?
That's the most important one.
Absolutely. So it's so easy in these last few years. You see it all over social media. These last few years, these agents have been making $150,000, $200,000, and they're dropping money left and right and doing all the things, and they're not paying off debt, they're adding debt. And all of a sudden now we get into this kind of a market, and it's oh wait, we have to make $200,000. If we don't make $200,000, that's our break-even point. Or say it's 75,000, whatever your number is, you've got to make sure that you're putting money away, because the real estate is cyclical. It will always be cyclical. And back in the day, I now pay myself a salary, so it looks a little bit different. But back in the day, I split every commission check into 5 categories. I had 5 different bank accounts. I had a tax account, I had a profit account, I had a savings account, I had a marketing account, and I had a giving account. And every check that was deposited was immediately split into those 5 accounts. And I didn't touch the other categories.
Did you get that from Profit First, or did you just kind of have an inherent knowledge of how you wanted to categorize your money?
I've never. So I can't say that I didn't get it from there, but I don't feel like it was original to me.
Okay. It's very similar to the Profit First book. And
Okay.
and they say just like chunking your money into different categories so that and then you don't spend it until you only spend from that profit category and not anywhere else.
Right.
Gosh, I'm so glad you said that. And we're all guilty of it. I am. And I try to, as much as I try to keep a handle, I don't live some big extravagant lifestyle. I'm a pretty simple dude. But no offense, if you like nice things, but you're so right, Joe. A lot of people end up taking that income and leveling up their lifestyle with something that may not quite be sustainable yet. And so it's like, oh my gosh, I've never made this much money in my life. We get that big commission check. Some people's commission checks one time a month is what they made an entire year at a former job. And it can be so tempting to forget to put aside some money or pay Uncle Sam, or you think, oh, 100% of this is mine. Well, not so fast. And even if it were, save for a rainy day, put it in a reserves account or something. That is such great advice, because a lot of people do enhance their lifestyle and don't plan a lifestyle around the oh crap moments. And this is one of the best things that I learned at an early stage was every year I would vote every 6 months at a minimum, relook at your expenses, relook at your budget. Where can you trim 10% of the fat? Because throughout the year, if you don't have these strategic checkpoints, that subscription here, that thing there, it starts to slowly creep and add up. But in the moment, you're like, nah, it's no big deal. It's just $57 a month or whatever. But every 6 months to at least a year, re-examine that, and where can you slash at least 10% expenses, because that's going to keep you honest and on point. Yeah. Kristen, I know you came from that world as well. So
yeah,
tough. But I think this is, oh, hang on. We got a private message from Ciara. I want to give her recognition here. That is something to remember, she says. I had my first listing and accepted offer on the same day, but it definitely felt like a blessing. Yeah, no kidding. So I delivered the halftime session on Friday of last week. If you attended halftime with me or watched the replay, give it a like, give this video a like, a heart, a comment, something. Let us know that you watched that. And if you haven't, go back and do so. But Joe, you were there, right?
I was.
You were there. What did you hear? You've had a few days to reflect now. What stood out to you the most from the halftime?
Man, I've had a lot of, you two know, anybody else watching or watching in the future is not going to know. I've had a lot of shifting in my business in the last year, significantly so. And, and some of that storing up, like, yeah, I'm in a little bit of a freak out moment right now, but I'm also surviving because I didn't spend it all. So as I move forward in that, I look at my numbers right now, and I don't need to put my number out there, but it's like, hey, I've sold this much this year so far. I feel like I'm behind. And then looking at it, and it's like, actually, I'm not, because my target, and your goal is your goal. Your goal isn't somebody else's goal for you. And so my target this year is exactly, I just need to double what I've done. We just hit the halfway mark. So I still have another half of the year to be able to get to that spot, and delving into the 65-35 and the 80-20 and all of those things. I'm still processing a lot of it. I've got a ton of notes that I took that I've got to go back and read, because I was multitasking a little bit, just because out of necessity right now. And so it's like, I'm jotting notes down. But that was probably the biggest one for me, is like, we're only halfway through the year and I'm halfway to my goal, even though I look at my number and go, that's a really low number, in comparison to previous years, but it's half of my goal.
Well, I have so much in my brain right now, so I'm sorry if I just, here it is.
Yeah.
3 things. Number 1, what you just said triggered, if somebody out there hasn't read The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek, there's another one to put on your reading list. The Infinite
So
Game,
good.
right? Because what Joe's talking about there is, we treat every year from January to December 31 as a finite game. There's a winner and a loser in basketball. Whoever has the highest score at the end of the game wins. That is a finite game. There's a definitive beginning and end, right? Yes.
Mhm.
I don't want to play a finite game with my business. There is no best. I've never arrived. There is no finality to it. It's going. It's constant. I'm playing the infinite game. So that parlays me into my next point. How should I say this? What would that change if we shifted from using goal language, and I'm all about setting goals, to commitments? My commitment for this year is X. My goal is this, but my commitment is that. It's got a different zap to it, because when December 31st rolls around and I wake up tomorrow on January 1, my business is still rolling. Like, that doesn't define me, what I did in 2023, for example. The clock is still going. I'm playing the infinite game. We get so hell-bent out of shape if I didn't hit goal this year. Well, dude, the sun is going to come up tomorrow. Keep going. Like, stop playing for a season and play for the whole infinite game here. Change your language from, this is my goal, this is like my stretch number.
Yeah.
But then back into that with, this is my commitment number.
Okay, so I'm gonna just jump in here, because that's very interesting that you'd say that. And honestly, I think that is a generational language thing. We won't talk about generations right now, because I can get on a whole soapbox. But I think there's a big generational language there. Myself, as supposedly a millennial, I relate more to the Gen Xers. I'm 84, so I'm a zennial, or whatever you want to call it. Goals are demoralizing to me. So they will actually make me stop, because I don't think I can hit the target. And so what I end up doing is I do exactly what you just said, Dave, but I do it without putting words to it. So I set a low goal that I know that I can meet. And then every time I get closer to that goal, I kick it down the field a little further.
Yeah.
It's like, I won't.
Let's do 2 more. Let's do 2 more.
Yes.
Let's do 2 more.
Yeah, it's that I've got 24 listings. Oh, I just want to get to 25. Yeah. And that has been how I've driven. And honestly, whenever I'm working with my agents, I work the same way. I ask them, What is your goal? And I don't need it to even be monetary. If it's that you want to spend more time with your family this year, great. And then when we do our annual check-ins, those are the questions.
Yeah.
What is your commitment to take one vacation this year with your family and it be paid for in cash, which drives your personal goal, drives your business goal. And so like setting up those things for myself and then just knowing my own roadblocks. If you said to me, I want you to do $30 million this year, I can't start. You say to me, I want you to do 15 million this year. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, that's deep.
We had a comment from someone named Kelly, and she said quarterly goals are good for her too. Probably for that same reason, chunk it down. Yeah.
The 90-day sprint. I mean, you're right. Look, I'm saying this as a coach, leader. I'm going to continue probably in my language to say goal. I'm going to try and stop doing that, maybe. So I'm saying that because I don't want to sound like a hypocrite with what I'm getting ready to go at, but the word goal almost has become this wishy-washy thing. It's like, I'm going to try, like, what is that? Here's my goal. And I think when people use that language these days, my experience is like, it's wishy-washy. It's like, it's my hope. But when I say, it sounds different. Hey, Kristen, what's your goal this year? She's going to say whatever it is she says. But if I said, hey, Kristen, what's your commitment this year? That just hits different, doesn't it?
Well, that's okay. I can't see if there's anybody on. That's the everybody's a winner mentality.
Yeah. Participation trophies, right?
A goal doesn't matter. You participated in setting your goal, so you won. A commitment is a lot different.
It's riskier.
It is riskier.
Because your word is behind it. Your integrity is at stake.
And that used to be the case for goals.
Yes.
Especially if you published them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna, yep.
I think we triggered Joe today.
We did. I like it.
This is all organic. None of this was planned. So
yeah. No, I was actually planning on observing.
So, you're
being a quiet fly on the wall.
And by the way, everybody, if you're just tuning into this, TLRzoom.com is where we are live. You can log in and ask us questions and participate too. But if you're watching in the Facebook group, that's cool. Comment, let us know that you're there. Go ahead, Kristen. What were you going to say?
I don't advise doing this, but there was a year, maybe it was 5. So it was 2017. I was going to bring my kids to California, hell or high water. I just booked the trip and put it all on a credit card and made sure that I paid it off by the end of the year. And I was committed to it. I'm not going to have credit card debt. I'm going to pay for the trip now. We're going to go on the trip. And then I'm going to work damn hard to make sure that it gets paid off.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a commitment. It was risky.
You could have sat there and thought about that trip, which is what most of us do. But the commitment was no, like Grant Cardone preaches this, whether you like him or hate him. I'm going to say yes now. I'm going to commit now and figure out the details later. Say yes to the trip. Put it on the credit card or whatever you need to do. I'm not, your financial advisor, but
don't do it. I don't advise it. Yeah.
No, but the lesson is you said yes to it. You decided there was no turning back, credit card or otherwise. You did then what it took because you put yourself in the corner, and nobody puts baby in the corner because you're going to figure it out and pay that dang thing off at the end of the year.
That's right.
It's the old cliche. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. It existed.
Yep.
And I think we do that in our, you've got the personal life, but we do that in our business. I mean, Jake, I've been stalking the locker room for however many years. And finally, I don't even know how long ago, 3-4 months ago, whatever that was, it was like, no, I need to do this. I know I need this for my business. I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure it out.
Yep.
And so I did. And at the time I came in, it was like, hey, I've got 90 days.
Yeah.
If we don't turn this around in 90 days, I'm done.
You straight up told me that, by the way. He's not kidding.
Me too. He told me too.
That's literally that's all there was. Now, granted, we're not, we're just kicking that 90-day can down the street a little bit further. But the fact is, we're kicking it down the street.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just think about Breakthrough. I think about Orlando. Again, not planned. Just so everybody knows, I'm just a coaching client. So Breakthrough, I think I've talked to a few agents who are in that same boat. Well, we don't know if we should. It's however much money to get there, however much money for the conference. It's like, no, you need to do it, because what's going to happen is they're going to help you figure out how to make it worth it. Again, I've been to the conferences, I've done the things. This is the one conference I will not miss. I've done all the brands. And for me, I'm not just figuring it out for me from somebody who just said they started this however long ago with nothing but 90 days left. I'm figuring it out for 4 different people, and just saying, hey, you're all coming with me. And I'm just going to figure it out.
And they will too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joseph, I call you Joseph, Joe, whatever.
I don't care.
I know. You will become one of the greatest locker room transformations. That is my commitment to this conversation. It's already decided. It hasn't caught up yet with the bank account or the business growth, even though you're on your way. But you will be someone, shout out Coach Reed Wilson, your coach, like Reed, that we're interviewing. We're sharing with stages and things, telling your story of here's where I was, here's where I am now, and you're sitting on the heels of some pretty big opportunities to grow your organization from what you've told me. And it's just right there, man. Just got to keep going and kick that can another 30 days or whatever it is, because there's big things coming.
For sure.
Yeah, it's inspiring for sure. I want to, all of this conversation is great, and I'm not just trying to fill the hour here. Whenever we're done, we're done. But I did go into this today with Kristen saying, hey, if nobody shows up, here's what we can talk about. But this whole conversation has actually worked quite beautifully for what I wanted to get to. So all of you watching this or hearing my voice have access to this. The KISS questions, we referenced it very briefly on the Friday halftime training event, but I'm going to share my screen here. If you log in, though, to your Locker Room University, go to the toolkit. And once you're in the agent toolkit, in the search bar, just type KISS or something, and it'll pull this document up. It's too important to skate over like I did on Friday. So here it is, Monday the 3rd, still around halftime, and I'm going to just walk everybody through what I'm talking about. You all will have to do this on your own, but hold on one second. Okay, now it's sharing my screen. So in your toolkit, all of you have access to this, what I'm sharing. It is our acronym for the 4 profound questions you should be asking yourself right now. You should be asking them every month, at least every quarter, but I'll give you grace here, baby grace, and assume that this is the first time you've seen this. You need to ask these questions when, right now, today, today, okay? What are they? The K stands for, what do I need to keep doing? And I give you a little explanation of around the why or the purpose of each question underneath. You can read that for yourself. What is it? When you look back at the last 6 months of this year, calendar year, what do you need to keep doing? It's working. Keep going. Don't stop. Acknowledge it so it doesn't become some desensitized thing that you just dropped the ball on. Keep going. Second, what do you need to be more intentional about? That's the I in the KISS acronym. If I just dialed it in, gave a little bit more intentionality, man, that could be the very thing that leads to the breakthrough that I'm seeking. Ask that for the prior 6 months. Then, over the last 6 months, look back, reflect. What do you need to stop doing? Cut your losses. Bye-bye. It could be a behavior. It could be a monetary something. I don't know. What do you need to stop doing? And then finally, what do you need to start doing? So this is the catalyst here for the KISS acronym, just to explain what each question is and how you should answer them. But page 2 of this document, again, it's in your toolkit, is right here. I want you to do this for every key pillar of your life. We believe in coaching to the whole person here at the Locker Room, not just business. So when it comes to your finances, in the last 6 months, what do you need to keep doing? Intentional, stop, start. As it relates to your business activities, same thing. What about your health? Take a look at the last 6 month snapshot. What do you need to keep doing as it relates to your health? Be more intentional, stop, start. If you're a spiritual person, same deal. Family, keep doing, stop doing. Personal growth, relationships, attitude. When it comes to your attitude over the last 6 months, what do you need to keep doing, keep going? Be more intentional about. Stop doing, start doing. Maybe your intentionality for attitude is making sure you're surrounding yourself with 5 people that really lift you up. And we're going to keep it real with you, right? So Kristen, I just want to throw this your way for a second. You've been very familiar and a big believer in this exercise. I know that for a fact. What's your take on it? Why is this so important, or why should agents really slow down today and do this?
It's so good. This is the best exercise. I think everybody knows about page 1 of this exercise, and hardly anybody looks at page 2, right? Because it's buried in our toolkit. If you're not intentional about doing the exercise, you forget about all these categories. Page 2 is the deep dive. Even if you're not an agent, this is great to do. We have coaches who do this with their family once a month, and particularly one coach, he sits down with his wife and they do this together every month. Like, what are we going to keep doing? What are we going to be more intentional about? It's an awesome exercise, and it keeps you grounded, right? So I think sometimes, especially in real estate, we forget why we're even doing it. And in a crazy market, we get so caught up in winning. And then if we don't win, especially with our buyers, it can be very defeating. And doing this exercise keeps you grounded. Why are you here to begin with? What's important to you, and how to keep in front of that.
Well, it shines light, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was crushing everything in business and financial, let's say these top 2 categories were just like, oh my gosh, amazing, even though there's always room for improvement. I'll bet you then somewhere in the health or spirituality or family is not so hot. So again, by taking inventory, pausing and reflecting back, you might be like, oh, this is great. But if you only do it for finances or business, I want you to keep going. Health, spirituality, family, personal growth, your relationships, attitude. If all that other stuff is suffering, but these 2 things are amazing. What's that quote? Some people are so successful, all they have is money, or something like that. Meaning that their relationship, they're broke, relationally or spiritually, health, fitness, because all they're doing is focusing on the points on the scoreboard as far as their bank account's concerned.
Yeah, it's so important. And honestly, if you're burning the wick at both ends and your business and financially you're doing really well, you're probably exhausted everywhere else.
Yeah.
So to just be able to stay well balanced.
Yeah.
Or if you're on in every single one of these categories and you're like, yeah, I'm awesome in all of these, your attitude at the end of the day is probably so bad because you're tired, I mean, imagine.
If your attitude sucks, your relationships suck because nobody wants to be around you.
Yeah. So between 72 and 100 listings with no assistant, the bank account was great. You literally never looked at the bank account when you went to purchase something. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, life was hell.
Yeah. What's it worth?
I'm only 38. I started this business when I was 19. So I've ran the highs, the lows. I've been at the top. I've been at the bottom. I've wasted the money. I've saved the money. Like, I've run the gamut of it. And that, I can look back at the really high of the highs and go, man, life sucked.
Yeah, I hear that.
We've all been there, I think. Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. So what do we have to do? Type in the chat or the comment section. What does Joseph, myself, and Kristen have to do to beg you, plead with you to do that exercise today? 30 minutes max of quiet time, focused time. Put your phone over there, turn the TV off, tell the kids it's going to be a minute, go through that document, answer those KISS questions. I don't know the outcome because I don't know every single one of you, but I know for sure something will reveal itself. Something great will come of that. And your future self is thanking you for taking 30 minutes today and doing the flipping exercise. It won't fail you. It won't
Kelly's
fail.
going to do it.
Tell us
Kelly
in the
said she's
chat.
doing it.
That's right, Kristen. It is so important, guys. And hey, you know what? Maybe one of the questions and answers there on the forum is, what am I going to be more intentional about for my business? We just gave you an answer, maybe. It's every quarter moving forward, I'm going to go through these KISS questions. There you go. Yeah. Cheaters.
Desiree's doing it with her fiance tonight.
Who that?
Desiree Phipps. She said she
Alright.
commented she's going to do it with her fiance tonight.
Look at you checking these comments. Is that on Facebook?
I'm on it. Yeah, I've got
Okay.
it right here.
Oh,
Look it up.
Desiree. That's what I'm talking about. Right on. Hey, Desiree, if you're seeing this still, will you report back to us? And you don't have to share, but just let us know how it went. And then if you do want to share specifics, you share whatever you want. But will you report back to us, letting us know you did it and at least what it was like, how it went?
And Kelly too. She's going to do it too. We want her report as well.
Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it. Guys, we will never ask you to do something we're not doing or at least willing to do ourselves. Okay. These tools exist for you. And if there's something in our toolkit or Locker Room University you want to see more of, or it's missing or whatever, let us know. Let us know. But otherwise, dig in, because tools like this KISS worksheet exist. It's always been there waiting for you. You just got to uncover it. And we're here to bring it to you front and center from time to time, like today. So take advantage. All right. Anything else to add to this whole conversation today, or any other questions? You guys have any questions for me? I'm doing all the freaking question. And that not just Joe and Kristen, I'm talking the universe here. Any agents, leaders out there, hop on with us, tlrzoom.com, or type in the chat there in Facebook. What you got? If not, what else? Are we missing anything on this subject matter, or anything else relevant to the discussion today, guys?
Jake, what's your biggest takeaway from the halftime talk?
Oh gosh. Okay. I'll accept that. What's my biggest takeaway?
Yeah. Well, like teaching it every time. Does something different speak to you every time you teach it?
Not so much different, but this is meant to be a challenge to the listener. Every time I do that, I generally speaking get good feedback. I don't see a lot of it. Occasionally somebody will send me a screenshot where you guys are out there like, that was great. Here's what I took away. Like, that warms my heart every time. What I wish for, however, is not to be a one day on a Friday afternoon, rah, pump you up. My takeaway is, and I hope you'll hear this the right way, the 80-20 rule still exists. So if we had 50 people on there, 20% are actually going to do that work. And I'm going to say that because I want that to change. That is a challenge. If you left Friday pumped up, but here we are over the weekend, it's Monday, and you're right back to your old habits, you're in the 80 percentile. It was good information. You were excited for an hour. I'm looking for the committed. And so that is always one of my greatest takeaways, is the great feedback, the energy that people say they got from it. Cool. Brent Scott asked me the other day a question. Brent, shout out to you. about some different topic, but he said, so what's missing, Jake? Is it like a reaction or something that you were hoping to get? And I said, Brent, actually, no. Remove the re from that equation. It was something dealing with our coaches. I don't need a reaction. What I need is action. Just remove the RE from that equation. I am after evidence. I am after people taking and applying. I want the action. I don't need the fluffy reaction stuff to let me know I did a good job or something. Right?
So we want those 20%. We want those agents who are actually taking action after seeing that
That's right.
to post in the group and say, check this out. This was inspired by the halftime talk that Jake gave.
That's what I want. And now I get a little bit of that right now, because if you're in TLR bingo, like we see what's going on. It's awesome. It's electric. If you're not in TLR bingo, no shame. Catch it next time. It's fun. It's good stuff. But there's an energy with the people playing TLR bingo right now. So I know they're all over it. But you know, when it's out of sight, out of mind, or you get back in your normal routine, surrounded by the same people, you press the button on the coffee machine, and it triggers this whole subsequent sequence of activities that just kind of, you're in Groundhog Day mode. It's a dress rehearsal. I want people to snap out of the dress rehearsal and leave their old self over there and build these new habits, new self moving forward in the last half of this season. That's what I was wanting to see. Does that answer your question? You get me started. I won't stop. Okay. Oh my gosh.
I think, Jake, even hearing that, I mean, it's a good challenge to me. And it's a good challenge to all of us at different times. But going back to the beginning of the conversation, that action is what's going to determine if you're going to be here in 20 years.
Right.
Because if the inaction is happening, you know, again, I'm pretty guilty of a lot of this, because I tend to do and just do and just do, and then I don't go outside of that. But if you're not taking the action within that you've committed to, probably not taking the action in your business for the future either. You're reactive in your business. You're not active in your business. And if you're just reacting to what's coming your way, those are the people that are going to be dropping by the droves.
Yep.
Yeah, the well can run dry pretty quick, can it? If you're not constantly digging the well out and deeper and deeper and deeper, it'll just run bone dry.
And let me tell you, you know, Reed has pushed me to some things like that I didn't think I would ever do, like recruiting posts. Stupid simple, but I was being reactive as a broker owner, waiting on the agent to come to me, not being active to secure my place on their list, because they may not be moving today, but they may move in 3 years. They may move in 6 months, and they're going to remember the person who's been active. They're not going to remember you because you don't have anything to react to, because you were never on their radar.
Just like with sales, just like when you're an agent and you're trying to sell houses, right? If you're not top of mind with your database, they won't remember that you're an agent.
Right. And I'm finding that fine balance right now, because I'm trying to work my way out of production. So I'm spending so much time active in the business that I'm going, wait, I also need to be active over here. I can't just react over here until we get that foundation set.
Yeah, because if you don't, what's gonna be different 6 months from now? If I don't take insert action, fill in the blank, what's going to be different 6 months from now? Am I going to be complaining or struggling with the same thing that I'm saying I am today? I mean, that's just as fundamental as it gets. When people say, like, if I'm coaching Kristen or something, and I use the word complaining or whatever, but about time, one of my just open-ended, matter-of-fact questions as a coach, which is my responsibility, it's not to feed that, oh yeah, no, time's tough. That's not my job. I might just simply look at Kristen and say, okay, so Kristen, what I hear you saying is time is a struggle for you right now. Okay, so let me ask you a question. What are you going to do today? What are you willing to do today so that in 6 months from now, if I ask you that same question, time is no longer your excuse. And I just shut up. Because that is what it's about. Every day we get to pick what it is we choose to do or not do, which shapes our tomorrow.
Mhm.
So what is going to change so you're not complaining to me in 6 months about time still being a factor? And that's just an example, of course, but it's relatable for a lot of people probably. What you gonna do? By the way, I hate to use this term, most achievers, I'm not going to say successful people, most people who achieve things, great things, will tell you they actually develop the muscle of saying no to more things they say yes to. Some of you watching this, you actually need to start saying no to more things, not yes.
That was one of the biggest lessons I ever learned. And I used to coin myself an opportunity junkie. I would just say yes to everything. Yes, bring me the opportunity. Give it to me. I want it. It's like, what are you doing, right? Just focus on something important and stay the course.
Yeah. Guys, I think we've dropped some fire today. Kristen, are there any comments or questions that we need to read, or we can wrap this up early?
And I think we have a lot of people being tagged right now. But no, not a lot of comments. Nope, we're good.
We're dropping some fire. Joe, you made this call. I mean, kind of amazing, not gonna lie. So
100% amazing. Yeah. Hop on every time.
yeah. So
It's
as a
on my
reminder,
time blocking schedule. Speaking of time.
there you go.
I like
As a
it.
reminder to all of you, unless otherwise noted, we do these the first Monday of every month at 11 Central Time. So if you want to go to your Google Calendar right now, set a recurring thing. Google makes it easy. Set it for live Q&A with Jake and Kristen, recurring event on the first Monday of every month, 11 o'clock Central. You could do that right now if you guys wanted to. Otherwise, we're going to create the flyers and the fancy stuff in the Locker Room Nation, but you don't always see that. You will see your calendar. Okay. We are here for you. Chris and I, we're going to keep doing these. We just decided, you know what? We got so many trainings on Tuesdays and different things that we do. Sometimes it's just nice to make yourself available. It's just like a fireside chat, roundtable discussion. We come with no agenda. Whatever questions you guys have, we can talk for days, especially me. And just show up. That's all you need to do is show up, but have some questions ready and let us help you. Free coaching.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. All right, guys. Let's go round robin real quick. Commitments this week. Kristen, what's a commitment that you have this week? I'll go. I can start. I'm putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm got to think too. Okay, so a commitment that I have this week to the two of you and everybody watching this is to, first of all, I'm going to take tomorrow off. Okay. But today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, my commitment is to have 2 meaningful conversations with leaders in the real estate space each day. That is my commitment. I will not go home and stare my kids in the eyes if I haven't done that, because that helps me move the needle forward, finding people like Joe that are willing to partner and get behind our mission to transform an industry. That's my one thing. So that's my commitment.
Me too, Jake.
Okay. Don't say it unless you mean it now. I'm okay with you R&D, but this is a commitment, Kristen.
I can handle that. But you know what? I'm going to be very specific with my 2 conversations that I'm having every day, and I'm going to get answers from people who have agreements with us who haven't signed them yet.
Okay, so circling back to out for signatures.
Yeah.
If
I'm gonna
that's
get
one
a
of
yes
you and you're
or
happy to
no.
be watching this, watch out. She's coming for you.
I'm coming.
Okay. All right. Joe, what's a commitment for this week?
I would say for me, I'm sitting here next to my notebooks of notes from halftime, from coaching, and I've got some homework tasks that have been pushed off. And I think this week seems to be a pretty slow week. And so I'm going to make a commitment to get through those task lists, get through my halftime notes, and really get those things compiled in a way that I can execute them in the business.
Solid answer.
Awesome.
I will take that. And by the way, if you are out there struggling, whoever's watching this, and you need an idea like Kristen stole mine, you can steal this one again. Your commitment can be doing this KISS exercise today. I think I've said that umpteen times, or at least this week after seeing this video. That could be an example of what your commitment might look like. Okay. Well, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. Hadn't been real fun. I'm just kidding. Stop it. It's been amazing, actually. And I always appreciate the conversations we get to have, Kristen. And when Joseph Williams is involved, it's absolute fire. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Any parting words, Kristen, Shanahan, and Hannah?
I hope everyone has a super safe 4th of July
There's that.
tomorrow. Yep. Come back with all of your fingers. So I saw someone posted something that said someone in America is going to sleep tonight, and it's the last night of them having all 10 fingers. And I thought, oh my gosh, people are like, because of fireworks, the fireworks. Yeah,
What?
it was fun. It was fun. It made me chuckle. I was like, oh no. Yeah, stay safe out there. Stay safe out there, everyone
safe.
in the nation.
Speaking of fireworks, there's going to be fireworks in Orlando, Florida, about August 10th through the 12th. Gee, I don't know, at the Breakthrough event. So tlrnation.com/breakthrough event. We still have some tickets available. Be there, be square. All right. Hey guys, thank you so much. Let's go complete our commitments for the day so we can be present with our families.
Awesome.
You got it. Talk later.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Proximity Podcast. We hope you'll implement the real solutions and real action items into your real estate business. Be sure and subscribe to get updates on new episodes and join us on Facebook where industry professionals go to collaborate. Don't forget to hit us with your feedback and likes. We'd love to hear from our raving fans. Until next time.